What's up? What's up? We got to talk about it. We got to pull up to this story on Trevor Bauer. What is really going on with you, my man? Dude, not once, not twice. Like, what type of think pattern do you have? Now, it is not right in any form to take advantage, to scheme, to be deceptive towards anyone, to do a setup, cause somebody their livelihood. Now, this man played professional baseball in the MLB, making money. And I'm going to tell you, I'll be danged if some woman tried to sabotage one of my family members and they helping to take care of, let's say, the parents financially. Let's say you might have, I'm just hypothetically speaking, like a special needs relative that needs financial help. Or maybe another sibling is doing well, but that financial, I don't want to say burden, but the financial, because, kids, people's kids are not necessarily responsible or have to be responsible of their parents. But sometimes when you dealt a good hand and parents have done good by you, I'm just saying, this man had responsibilities. I'm not saying that he was, taking care of this person, that person, but I'll be doggone. If I got a family member doing good and then all of a sudden, what? You done been accused of what type of situation? And now your livelihood is gone. And now we got to start a GoFundMe for you. All because you don't want to take the time out, bro, to just chill out, have discernment of spirit, and know when these women is like really, really on you. Because I honestly feel like he almost became a target by default. Because it's almost like if a woman does her research, sometimes these women be having these groups too.
It does give off that impression about clout chaser and totally attention-seeking behavior, but I just feel that they have, nothing to do with what actually took place. But it does cause a lot of questions as to why I was, seeking Trevor out. But at the end of the day, there was nothing about a setup.
Where they going to talk about it. Like I said, women be knowing the man's contract, his professional contract, better than he understands it. Can break it down.
You say this wasn't a setup. How can you expect anyone to believe that?
So yes, that accuser was a straight up fraud. She was a liar. I mean, a monster liar. I am actually shocked that she wasn't charged with a crime. Yeah. But that wasn't Trevor Bauer's only accuser. It seems like this guy loves the crazy woman. Yeah. Now, let me introduce you to Adana.
My name is Adana, by the way.
Your name?
Adana.
Adana?
Yeah, that's my name.
Adana.
Adana.
Oh, I'm from Adana.
She was crowned Miss Black Arizona USA in 2016. Now, she can be found at Hey Adana on Instagram and has a YouTube channel.
For how many years? What is like the livelihood, life expectancy for him to be, a professional player, whether it's baseball, football. I'm a professional athlete is all I'm saying. It is messed up. And then it's like, sister girl, look, you even trying to play the game. You can't, look, I'm sorry. When we say, well, why do we have to bring race into it? Well, sometimes we have to. Sometimes we just have to bring it in there because sister girl, you can't play the same games everybody. She might can play that game, the blonde right here. Because see, the sister wound up.
So now this beautiful woman meets pitcher Trevor Bauer, who's now $50 million richer, and starts demanding. So obviously this story is a major story. This woman who's accused Trevor Bauer of a charge with defrauding him. Now I always like to see how each side is framing the story. Trevor Bauer accused her charged with allegedly defrauding ex-MLB pitcher by faking pregnancy. Yeah. So now let's get to the DMs where you're going to see Trevor Bauer's accuser, the one who's now been arrested for fraud. She's going to literally be begging him That's with her. In females, for example, hormones present at ovulation can drive a woman to choose a cocky, confident man with a slight
with this doggone felony when she got found out. But the good thing is they got found out. But it just messed up his life. Like countless others, he's not alone. And I feel like if someone is seeing a pattern in their daughter, granddaughter, little cuz, friend, if like you're a true friend, sometimes you might want to just, pull them to the side, holler at them. Because for one, karma ain't no joke. It's just no joke how this stuff comes back. And if it's not done to you personally, it may be done to someone else who you truly do care about. Like, we are living in a world once again where right is wrong, wrong is right. Especially like when a lot of money is involved in this. I mean, these courts will eat up your money. These attorney fees will eat up your money. They will go on about their lives. And then the one who really caught the brunt of it all will continue to suffer. But I'm saying, if you see some little tendencies going on already with family members that just into this world of scheming and thinking they can continue to get away with it. Because even with the blonde, just because like we didn't hear of her catching a felony off of this, you can't continue to do wrong. You just can't. It catches up with everybody. So that's where we say, it don't matter what color you are. It does not matter what you into, who you like, what they look like, the texture of their hair, their complexion, how tall they are, how short they are, what job they have. Because people sometimes will take the average working person working a 9 to 5 that may be making, let's say, almost $20 an hour. If somebody wants to take advantage of somebody and somebody just seems so openly for it and don't know their self-worth, their value, to be able to recognize the signs of this may potentially lead into, or somebody's, let's say, after your personal information, whether it be banking statements, your social security number. It's just information out there. Let's say you're getting a check of some sort from Social Security for whatever reason. They're just trying to find out. You're inviting them back to your house. Now, you got to be safe, because nowadays, and it's been them days too, we done heard of the name Jay Donner before, haven't we? People mad. People got issues. People is angry. People don't want their money messed with. And some people is just tainted in the minds. Like, oh, they don't mess with my money? Okay, I'm about to really show them. Like, you just cannot be that comfortable messing with people's money. It was just wrong. I have seen situations where...
And then things turn really bad for Adana. She went from victim to suspect. A suspect who's extorting powerful men for money. So the police took their evidence and turned it over to the DA's office, and the DA then indicted Adana. Here is that indictment. Yes. Now, a shocking thing in this indictment is that Trevor Bauer wasn't the only person she was trying to extort. This other guy, Marco Berlusconi. Quote from count 1 of the indictment: she knowingly did obtain a benefit from Marco Berlusconi and Trevor Anthony Bauer by means of fraudulent pretenses, representations, promises, or material omissions. And it seems like she had it in for our friend Marco here, because the document says in count 2, she knowingly did obtain or sought to obtain property or services from Marco by threat to expose some secret in the future on social media.
What I'm saying, this stuff can start very early on, accusing young men. Be protective of your young men, be protective of your young ladies. The mind. Your young men, they can't go everywhere. They can't go to every party. They can't be around every girl they want to be around. Young ladies, protect your young ladies. Young ladies, protect yourself. You can't go everywhere. You can't be friends with everybody. You can't join in and let somebody lead your mind to think, oh, well, we about to hit a lick off of this one. Are you down? Because guess what? You might be the very one holding the bag. And that goes the same thing for that young man. You might be the very one holding the bag. Why in the world would anybody in their right mind want to take a chance to jeopardize somebody's life? Because it puts yourself in jeopardy. If it becomes a case, guess what? Then you got to testify. Then your life is on hold. It's a delayed process. It's a delayed process to find out how your life is going to carry on. You have to be very careful with the decisions that we make in our young 20s. That's what I'm saying. If we have kids, young nieces, young nephews, cousins, ain't nobody got to badger nobody over their head. But if you can give something of value, they may not get it at that very moment, but sometimes things come up like, oh, my mom did mention to be aware of this. My dad did mention to be aware of this. My grandmother, my great grandmother, my auntie, my uncle. Just on and on. Because these wolves is out here seeking whoever they may devour.
Judges, law enforcement officers, prosecutors, they all agree with me. They've rejected every single claim made against me, even going as far as charging one of my accusers with a felony. If any evidence of any of these claims actually existed, I would have been charged, or at the very least arrested. But that never happened. What else do I have to do to prove that this entire situation has been a massive lie? This is insane. At what point do I get to go back to work and continue earning a living?
So this woman is facing multiple felony charges, and Trevor Bauer can't get his job back. And we have so many examples of this.
People be wondering, how did they get that? How did they afford that car? How did they afford that house? How do they afford those earrings? How do they afford to have their hair done a certain way? How do they afford those cosmetic procedures, those extensions? How does he afford to have custom suits on? How does he afford to get Botox? How does he afford to get liposuction? How does he afford to have his own personal barber? How does it seem like he only works one day a week? People is about these scams. Some of these people is about these scams, and they don't care who they got to take under to get what they want and keep playing the game. Once they get caught, sometimes they go right back to it because they done got a lot smarter because they done did their time and it's something new out there, and they back out there again to see who they can take advantage of. But I just can't play the whole story. Crazy story. So for these newcomers that's coming in, because it's always going to be somebody else, hopefully they learn something from this man's story and be careful of who they let in their lives. And women, your life, you can sleep better. You can sleep better. You're a better person when you're not trying to put yourself in harm's way, in jeopardy, trying to be a part of something that you was not designed to do. Because that's bad. We were not created in this world, for this world, to be bad. But I understand, I know, not all people are good people. But at what cost? At what cost are you willing to keep just threading along, just going on with life like nothing really matters at all? I'm here just existing. It's not worth it.